Hello, and welcome to this audio journal I call a podcast. As promised, I have a current roommate with me, and we're going to talk about some D&D stuff.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, when I first talked about D&D, I brought up a very legalistic game master, a rule lawyer, if you will. And my current roommate's got a lot to say, has a lot of opinions about this individual. So, when I first discussed him, I brought up that he had made a witch character that used an ability called Cackle, and the rule lawyer banned it. But I didn't really know exactly what was the issue. I know it made the witch an effective class. It was like the only way, as you said, right?
It's the only way. If you're playing witch in any category, you're going to have Cackle because it's the only way you're going to continue on your curses or your hexes, excuse me.
Yeah, so why don't you explain?
So let's start off with the fundamental problems of Witch in itself. Witch is not a very powerful class. It is, in my opinion, almost an NPC class. Doesn't mean it doesn't have effective tools, but they're mostly used for out-of-combat things, in my opinion. But Cackle was one of the few combat maneuvers you could use as a witch. A witch would get hexes like Evil Eye or Curse of the Damned, and they would be minor things. -2 to an attack roll, -2 to an intelligence. And Cackle would allow you to use your move action to extend them by 1 round. So I'm
just 1 round?
Yeah, I'm standing still to get an effective stack. I'm also a spellcaster with a D4 health who doesn't have the same range of spellcasting as a sorcerer or a wizard.
That's only like mildly effective from what. That's ridiculous, dude.
And yes, I didn't get very high level. Maybe there would be a higher level hex out there that would be like, oh, I'm giving a guy -20 to a save this round. Even then, that's 1 round, maybe 2.
You're not gonna cackle every round.
No, and it's 1 person, so I think later on I could affect multiple people, but for the most part it was only I'm affecting 2 to 3 people, maybe.
Yeah.
With the laughter, this rule lawyer absolutely loved taking a character's main bread and butter and go, that's broken, even though he was the black and white guy.
Yeah. Like I said, the tactician character, I brought that up because I knew that. I knew the interworkings of my own character. I didn't know Cackle. I just knew he took it away from you and that, like, it made you effective.
It's, hell, we have the other example of the alchemist. Name one potion maker that can't hand a potion to a guy.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. When he took shield potion away, yeah.
I don't like the fact that you increase your AC over 20. Tough cookie?
Yeah.
It's not like it lasts for more than a couple minutes.
It could probably be dispelled, too.
Yes.
Like...
It absolutely could.
Like, he just couldn't handle, like, us having any sort of advantage, even if it's temporary.
Which, I don't know if your audience knows timeline. After playing the campaign we left off on, he had no equivalent exchange.
Oh, I've told them about the redarkening. They know that Skulls and Shackles is after the redarkening.
Like, to go from Skulls and Shackles to have a fairly fair GM that would...
Oh, you mean the redarkening, yeah.
The redarkening.
Yeah.
Did I say the second darkening?
You said Skulls and Shackles had the fair balanced GM.
Excuse me. The redarkening had a fair and balanced GM who, yeah, he did stuff that would challenge us. Sure, that's the point. But he wouldn't Literally, the Rule Lawyer made a character that does 180 non-lethal damage by the time we finish the campaign.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His detective character, yeah.
Well, it's
That
like-
also turned invisible and everything?
Yeah, he had a ring of invisibility, didn't even have to cast spells, didn't have to take a feat, bought one very expensive magical item, took 5 feats.
Had all that carrying capacity.
Yeah, it took. Yeah, those are the 5 feats that he took in Rogue Talents to get like that. So he built a character with strengths and synergies. Weird. And no one buried him for it? It's almost like you're playing a character.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah, then you go to Skulls and Shackles,
and
where he's the game master.
he's the game master, the other guy's that becomes the captain, and all you do is
That's not right. Yeah, this is right.
all you do is role lawyer, manipulate, change. Oh, I know it says this, but I'm going to go with this interpretation, which is honestly just unfair.
Yeah.
He wasn't a storyteller, he was a gameman. He would much rather play, honestly, if it wasn't arts and crafts, Warhammer.
Yeah.
He would much rather have a guy be like, oh, my team beat your team.
That is something we need to talk about in the future. Yeah, this is a D&D thing, but yes, I've actually never discussed Warhammer, and I have a history of playing 40K, and I tried to play fantasy, but Rule Lawyer kind of dampened my appreciation for it, but, you know, I'm trying to find passion for it again, so to say.
Finding passion and drive is where everything's at.
Yeah.
But back on hand, it's like your first character in the campaign when you got introduced. One of your better made a archer ninja.
Yeah.
You don't hear about that. You don't talk about that.
He thought it was stupid in his head before I played it.
I thought it was stupid before he had. I'll be the first one to admit. Before, when you told me about the very first time you come out, pirate crew hits the boat. Your character was arming you on the boat, waiting. He pops out to help us. Immediately takes out a guy. Immediately takes out another guy.
Yeah. Gekrin, that's his name.
Rule Lawyer. Just because he one-shots bandits, pirates. Oh yeah, we gotta make sure the rogue, the ninja, gets taken out.
Canopy Creeper.
Yep.
Yeah, I was telling them about him not letting you Yokozuna people, like, throw sand in their eyes.
Yes, because it's not an improvised weapon if I'm carrying it around.
Yep.
Improvised weapon, it's a makeshift weapon. Also, we don't land. I can't keep a bag of sand on me.
Yeah.
Even if it's not an improvised weapon, I can't pocket sand somebody.
Yeah. Pocket sand.
Like, it's a boat. It's a boat campaign.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah. Okay, so I'd like you to talk about that campaign where you were, like, trying to, like, manifest a god, like.
So the St. Christopher campaign.
Yeah.
So, Role Lawyer had this whole concept of belief makes a god.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'm all for that. Well, we did a campaign where we, as the characters, were going to make a god, but we had to have a character in our group be the cleric of this god, but he had to not know that the god wasn't real, because if he ever found out, it was over for us. The god, we lost our belief channel. He used that against us the entire time, as the campaign DM, and we want this concept to go through. We like this idea, but to give you an example, I'm the church leader. I'm the one that found out that you could make gods this way. That's why I'm making this church. My very first 2 people I convert to the church fuck off for a week. Yeah. Come back, and out of nowhere, my church has gargoyles. No one's talked to me. No one said anything. Oh, and they're moving.
I forgot how ridiculous this is.
So I'm freaking out. I have my enemies in this town, and I push one of the gargoyles out just to find out that one of the 2 guys that I first bring in paid a lot of money to put them on the church. Mm-hmm. Why did no one say anything to me?
Yeah.
Why did no one say a word to me after I spent a week of paranoia walking up and down those churches?
What that comes up to me is like there was a great there's a big thing in religions of iconography. Were gargoyles ever mentioned as an icon of this god that you were trying? So it makes absolute no sense.
Our god was almost, that we made Saint Christopher, was almost a god of purity.
Yeah.
Like almost cleanliness.
Yeah.
Like when he walked, he would rebuild cobblestones. He would rebuild the area around it. He was almost a god of rejuvenation.
Yeah.
So
why would he have gargoyles?
Yeah.
Why would there be gargoyles on a church?
It's just because, a rule lawyer is bad when us as a party shows up to a straight up sexual assault happening. Mm-hmm. And everyone in the group, because of all of the antics that this guy played, we have to go, is this really happening? Mm-hmm. Like, ma'am, are you consenting to this?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's so messed up, dude. So messed up. Yeah, that's Saint Christopher campaign.
There's another scenario where we get caught by a judge, and the judge knows everything about the party.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you don't have this permit, you don't have that permit. How could you open a church here? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, how does this guy know everything about me?
Yeah, like he put his DM's omniscience onto this character.
Yeah. Like this guy's had spies on me since I walked through the gate.
This guy's an unnamed individual, but he would always bring up how like an NPC in rule lawyers campaigns would know like intimate details about certain spells in the game. Like, I cast this spell, and then like the commoner NPC that like doesn't even have any class levels goes like, well, don't you have to be like at least a spellcaster like 4th level to do that? And
I read that in my farmer's almanac. I'm pretty sure this adept couldn't do that.
Yeah.
He's also the guy that in a very early campaign had people completely in greater invisibility chilling in a room, not talking, not moving, and had a guy, a cook, walk in there and throw an open bag of flour on the entire party. Why did he walk in there and do that?
We need to. I want to save the Animorphs one for later. That's a good one. That's a good one. That caused like an immediate conflict.
I mean, yeah.
But
I'm never playing D&D again.
But the one where you had the torture chamber. To explain that story.
Okay, so we We didn't do evil campaigns. This campaign was specifically meant to be evil for evil's sake.
Yeah.
So make the most evil guy you could come up with. This is 3.5. So I made just some type of cleric. I forget, it was like a bat guy. He could fly around. He wore I had 48 AC because of this armor set. But I spent 80% of my starting gold building this character, just building a torture chamber, because my character was collecting pain and pain crystals, and I was trying to make a massive pain crystal, and I had Iron Maidens, I had crosses, I had the works. I had pain needles that they could never heal. And the very first guy that this rule lawyer gives me to torture is a guy that heals all damage and feels no pain.
Yeah, I think that was just a middle finger to you.
Yeah, no, it's going back to Skulls and Shackles. It's he wants to indulge in this. Oh, everyone has a suicide tooth.
Oh, yeah. I didn't mention that. Yeah, everybody we were going to interrogate had a suicide tooth.
Even fish monsters.
Yeah, the Sahagins. No
self-preparation. I didn't know everyone had so much zealous ideas, even as a fishman. They can't catch us alive.
Okay, I got. Let's do one more story. Let's do one from the cryptid campaign. Let's talk about the Krampus.
Krampus, the greatest plot thread left on the table.
My first roommate ran this campaign. He was very good at DMing. He was very creative.
Very creative. Probably was the best NPC player I've ever seen.
Was more in line with our philosophies about the game of what makes the game fun than Rule Lawyer.
He did a campaign with the two of us where we decided early on, fairly quickly, I want to say within the first session, that we wanted to make a cryptid zoo. So, Bigfoot, Chupacabra, Mothman. And it was around Christmas time, so the second guy we encountered was the Krampus. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
This campaign was fun in the sense of every time we would show up to a town, the town would always end up being either pro me or pro Matt.
Yeah, I'm Night Driver. Yeah.
Night Driver.
Yeah, no problem. My name's Matt, but call me Night Driver. It's fine. They would always be pro me or pro him.
Yeah. And this specific town was pro me
because I was trying to. I can't remember why I was doing it. I was getting this kid to be.
The Krampus was being the Krampus, stealing kids.
Yeah.
So you came up with the great idea of we need to get a kid as bait. Yeah. So you indoctrinated this kid, right?
I went in my kitsune form into this kid's house, woke him up in the middle of the night, and I said, "Your country needs you."
And he didn't immediately take to it.
Yeah, the parents were very mad. The town wanted me dead.
The town tried to chase him out, but good thing I was there to chase him away.
Yeah.
Man, how many times did we do that bit?
What, doing something in the kitsune form?
Yeah, and then one of us chases us.
Yeah, a few times. Yeah, that's totally new. There was this like eyesore old like shopping center, like totally rejuvenated. Like we're dumbfounded by it. Like
yeah. Sorry to pause for a moment, but that was incredible to me.
Yeah.
Where were we at?
Well, we're talking about the Kitsune form.
Oh, Kitsune, I saved you. So, we indoctrinated the kid, but during the whole chase, the Krampus grabbed the kid and put the kid in his sack.
Yeah.
And we had to go in the realm of the Krampus. And we always had this thing that whenever we would fight the cryptid, we would go in a Kitsune form because we never wanted anyone to know that we were fox people.
Yeah.
And the second we walk through the portal of the Krampus, we drop our form and we walk in there and we're like, we go to fight the Krampus and we do this intense fight. We're in hell. It's like a snow hell workshop. And there's like 4 pillars of these guys watching us from a distance of like weird, almost arch imp type things. And the Krampus just fights us with his whip. And we fight him off, knock him out. And he falls over and he kills a whole bunch of kids in his bag. I feel bad for that, but it happened.
Yeah.
We get the kids, we save the kids, we tie the Krampus up, we put him in the cage, we lock him up,
and we take him out of hell.
You know, I feel bad, but I actually have to retroactively go back, and I skipped a very important part of the
I was thinking that.
I feel bad, guys, but the reason why we knew how to handle the Krampus so well was we met a guy in a library named Devil that we named Devil Guy.
Yeah.
The reason why he got on our side so quickly was Matt threw out the line of everyone says that you're best friends with this guy.
Yeah, there was like this librarian, and he goes, he goes like, yeah, this guy who researches devils would know everything about him. And they go, oh yeah, that guy that you're best friends with, and he's like, wait, people think that? Yeah, that's what everybody's been saying, that guy like ends up working for us as like Sasquatch's like personal assistant. Like we made him Sasquatch's assistant because like the first cryptid we captured was a Sasquatch. We'll get to that story in the future because I kind of want to save some of these for further installments. But
and Bigfoot Night Rider is a classic.
Yeah.
But Krampus, going back to the time bomb of Krampus, we knock him out, we put him in the cage, Devil Guy helps us out, we go back to hometown base.
But one thing that happens...
the second we come back, Devil Guy goes, so why are you all foxes? We all... See, I don't know how you all feel about weird interdimensional portals, but the guy interpreted them as windows, I interpreted them as doors. I did not think you would be able to see through them. But I guess that is kind of stupid.
Yeah. I mean, like, we weren't...
What would you see? Like a weird video game, just a weird swirl,
yeah.
like red orb.
Yeah,
like,
now he's like watching us through a CRT. And he knows exactly what we are. So that was cool.
So one guy said we had to make the decision to either work for us or kind of have to kill you, which we didn't want to do.
So he worked for us. He was the Krampus's handler, as the librarian had become Sasquatch's handler.
So we have a house back in our main town where Sasquatch lives in the basement.
Lives in the basement. It's Dumper Dahlgren's house that I stole from him.
Am I flip-flopping it? Was Krampus in the attic?
No, Krampus was in the basement.
Krampus was in the basement.
And there was a school nearby.
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
had to. In the future, we had to move.
Yeah, and I bought that alarm where I could tell whenever he left.
Yeah.
This DM was so good that whenever I personally had to talk to the Krampus, I felt uncomfortable. I genuinely didn't know how to one-up him or get an edge.
Yeah. He played the Krampus really well. What was it? He said the Krampus was fine with being in the zoo.
Yeah.
But he wanted to be the main attraction, right?
Yeah, he wanted to be the main attraction.
Yeah.
And I was like, done.
Done. Yeah. You're awesome. Like, you're an awesome character. Yeah, and, like, there's future stuff that kind of, like, other people, like, Rule Lawyer joined the campaign, and
kinda.
he had a big issue with us keeping the Krampus around.
Which is why I call it a time bomb. Oh, you know how dumb it is to keep a... the reason why those devils were watching them in this campaign is we loosely found out that the Krampus was one of the closest devils to becoming an archdevil.
Yeah.
Which we never got to figure out what that meant.
Yeah, he was like a high-ranking general in hell or something like that.
Yeah, which is why, like, we heard, when we knocked him out, we heard, no!
Yeah. So, yeah, there's plenty more stories. Hopefully plenty more will be made as well. But I really great having you on.
Good being here.
Yeah, good being here. Like, I enjoy this. It's just, like, if people listen to it, great, and they're entertained, even better. But like, I just do it for my mental health and fun.
No, this is great. Get the stories out there.
Yeah.
Keep the prosperity.
Yeah. So hopefully down the line, maybe next Tuesday or another day in the future, we'll have another recording. But like, this one's great. It's personally my favorite one, because, like, I did not know how this was gonna go. But I just know you and I, like,
we can
have
bounce.
the chemistry.
Yeah,
so.
we can always bounce. Once we start talking, we get going.
Yeah. So at long last, if you listen to this, thank you.
And peace.